iconic Tony Award-winning musical Les Mis is back in Tampa at the Straz. Preston Truman Boyd plays Javert and joins us now to tell us a little bit more about the show. So how you doing? Welcome.
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Tampa. What do you think?
I love Tampa. I went to Burns last night, had a steak.
Good for you.
Played golf down in Sarasota, so I'm doing it right.
You are doing it right. I didn't know you would find time for that. I'm glad you found a little relaxing time here in Tampa. So tell me a little bit about the show. For someone who's never seen it before, what should they look for? What should they go in knowing?
There are a lot of very prominent social issues in our show that I think parallel today's world so well. And I think, this is such a timeless show because it just moves along with the times in its own right. And I think anybody can find something or a character in the show or a theme in the show that they can relate with, or hopefully take it with them when they leave the theater and maybe change their mind about something in life. So,
I love that. Yeah. So let's talk about your character, because he's a serious guy.
Yeah, cut and dry.
A lot of people call it the villain, but you were telling me earlier he's just misunderstood.
He's misunderstood. He's a law and order guy. He has a very strict moral compass that he lives by, and I think he's the other side of the coin to Jean Valjean, who is on a journey of grace and trying to better himself as a man. And even though he committed he broke parole early in the show, and I'm like, no, I'm not letting this guy get away. It's kind of the cat and mouse of it all. Yeah. And in the end, my character is touched by that grace that he felt earlier in the show, and then it changes my whole cellular makeup. So,
right. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of people, call this kind of the Super Bowl of musicals. Like everyone wants to be in it. The music is amazing. Yeah. What did you think when you first got this role? I know you got it before the pandemic first. What was that like when you heard that news?
I've had a journey with this show. I've done other professional versions of it, but hadn't played this role, so I was really excited about it. It's a show that most kids that go into this business know Les Mis at a very early age, because it is, it's been around for 40 years, and that just, shows how timeless it is in the music. And, I feel like I wrecked the VHS, the 10-year anniversary special, because it was just such an iconic show, and to be a part of that history of such an iconic show is I'm very blessed. So
that's great. Well, it is sort of a heavy, kind of serious show, but I'm sure you all are like family now, touring around the country together. So there have to be some lighter moments, maybe that happen backstage or behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
What are some of those?
When you come off stage after unaliving yourself, or or watching someone die next to you, you kind of have to keep it light backstage.
Right.
And I had a director years ago. Being on the road is a whole nother aspect to this. I always take this with me when I'm on a touring show. Is she said, go out and be a tourist. So we make a point to, when we get to a new city, check out what the best sandwiches in town, or find a museum. So we try to live a light life outside of work. So.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So let's talk about the music, because the music is iconic in this show. So your big song is Stars.
Yes.
What goes through your head right before you start singing that song?
Well, I'm grateful, first of all, and it's great because we play all these different theaters, and you see different little exit rows, lights out in the audience, and I look out and I can just take in this big vast space, and it helps me kind of get into character to sing this song about the stars and how they're constant and they're always there every year at the same time, and so it's fun to kind of just imagine a starscape. And
Is there a moment in the show, or maybe a song that still brings you chills to this day when you hear it?
Yeah, I mean the ending, the ending quote of the show is, to love another person is to see the face of God. And I think after 3 hours of the slog that is Les Mis, it's just such a great way to package up our show. So
Well, I love that it's here. I love that the show is here. It was great speaking with you.
You as well.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so the show runs through December 14th. For tickets, you can head to strazcenter.org.